Imagine waking up, splashing cool water on your face, and catching that familiar puffiness staring back at you from the mirror. It's that subtle swelling under your eyes that seems to linger, no matter how much you slept or how many expensive creams you've tried. It's so easy to just blame a late night, a salty dinner, or chalk it up to getting older. But what if those swollen eyelids were whispering something deeper? What if they were your body's first quiet alert that your circulation is getting a bit sluggish, that your kidneys are straining under a silent overload, or maybe that chronic stress has locked fluids in place where they just don't belong? For those of us over 60, this isn't just about vanity. It's a real signal, and it's backed by research from the National Institutes of Health. They've found that fluid retention tends to spike as we age, due to shifts in our body's blood sugar control and kidney efficiency. And guess where it often shows up first? Right there, in the delicate tissues around our eyes. A 2023 knee report even noted that up to 30% of adults over 60 experience unexplained edema, or swelling, which is often linked to insulin resistance that traps both sodium and water. These minor imbalances can turn into visible warnings. Today, here on Senior Society, we're going to uncover these root causes, drawing insights from both traditional wisdom and modern studies. Then, I'll guide you through a simple 1-minute massage to help release that stubborn fluid. This technique is based on lymphatic drainage, which has been proven to reduce swelling by up to 40% in just a few weeks, according to a trial on older adults in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology. So stick with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see your reflection not as a sign of decline, but as a map to finding deeper balance in your body. So let's get to the heart of it. Puffy eyes don't just appear out of nowhere. They're the body's elegant alarm system for imbalances that often start far from the mirror. At their core, they signal fluid retention, also known as edema. This is where excess water pools in the thin, elastic skin under your eyes. This area is particularly vulnerable because of its fragile capillaries and limited lymph drainage. According to the American Journal of Kidney Diseases, this retention often ties back to our kidneys struggling with sodium overload. This is a common issue after 60, as our kidneys' filtration rate can drop by about 1% each year. This impairs how well they clear out waste, and can even let proteins leak into our urine, which in turn pulls fluid into our tissues, causing swelling. Now, let's add another piece to the puzzle: insulin resistance. It's a silent epidemic that affects around 40% of seniors, according to NIH data. When this happens, high blood sugar can trigger insulin surges, which then signal the kidneys to hold on to sodium. This can amplify water buildup by 20 to 30% in people with insulin resistance, as detailed in a 2024 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. This isn't just abstract science. It's the reason why mornings often bring that telltale swell, especially if you had a carbohydrate-heavy dinner the night before. One geriatrician, in a Kidney International review, described it as a rising tide against faltering drains. For many of us, it's not dramatic thirst or fatigue that signals a problem, but this very subtle facial cue, urging us to pay attention before it potentially cascades to swollen ankles or even elevated blood pressure. And then there's stress. Stress is an unseen amplifier that can turn minor fluid retention into stubborn puffiness, all thanks to the hormone cortisol. When chronic worry elevates our cortisol levels, and findings from the Endocrine Society show these levels can rise 15 to 25% in stressed seniors, it disrupts our body's delicate systems. It prompts another hormone, aldosterone, to hoard sodium and water, which can lead to facial bloating in up to 35% of high-stress elders, according to an analysis in the journal Hypertension. This quiet storm also thins our skin over time, making blood vessels leakier and inflammation more chronic. Cortisol can weaken connective tissues by 10 to 15% over the years, and our eyes, with their incredibly thin skin just 0.5 millimeters thick, betray this process first. The puffiness becomes a kind of emotional overflow, where tension literally weighs down the face. A 2022 study in the journal Psychoneuroendocrine linked prolonged cortisol spikes to 20% more under-eye swelling. In those over 65, it's not just from tears, but from vascular constriction that backs up lymph flow. It becomes a cycle. Stress creates retention. Retention causes fatigue, and fatigue leads to more stress. But the good news is, by breaking this cycle, you can see how your face mirrors your inner peace. softening as your body begins to feel safe and relaxed. Beneath all these signals lies a mineral harmony that we often overlook, the crucial role of potassium in countering sodium's grip on our bodies. After 60 shifts in our diet, and even some medications like diuretics can deplete our potassium levels by 10 to 20% annually, according to a review in the journal Nutrient. This lets sodium dominate, causing fluid to linger. Potassium-rich foods, think bananas, spinach, and avocados, act as natural diuretics. They can help flush excess sodium and fluid by 15 to 25% through urine. This was shown in a British Journal of Nutrition trial involving 200 seniors, where 70% of participants saw a reduction in eye puffiness over just 4 weeks. This isn't some quick fix magic. It's about gentle, sustainable restoration. For example, one medium banana delivers about 422 milligrams of potassium. This helps balance the 2,300 milligram daily sodium cap recommended by the American Heart Association, easing the strain on our kidneys where filtration efficiency might be waning. If you pair potassium-rich foods with magnesium from sources like nuts or leafy greens, the effect is amplified. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that low magnesium levels can exacerbate fluid retention by 30% in older adults. Our bodies crave this equilibrium, and when we restore it, our mornings become brighter, not because of a cream, but because our cells are finally unburdened. Now, let's channel that internal shift outward. I'm going to show you a simple, 1-minute massage that awakens your lymphatic pathways. Studies have shown this can help drain 30 to 50% more fluid in facial tissues. A 2023 pilot study in the Aesthetic Surgery Journal on 50 seniors confirmed this. This technique is rooted in manual lymphatic drainage, which uses gentle strokes to mimic the natural pumping of our lymph vessels. The Cleveland Clinic even endorses it for reducing periorbital edema or under-eye swelling, because it targets the sparse lymph nodes in the eye area where stagnation easily occurs. First, let's start with your breath as the foundation. This is a crucial first step. I want you to inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, and then exhale even longer for a count of 6. Let's do that 3 times together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, this simple breathing exercise activates your vagus nerve, which can drop cortisol levels by 20 to 25% in just minutes, according to a study in Frontiers in Psychology. This signals safety to your body, relaxing the tiny muscles around your eyes that tense up under stress. Can you feel that subtle softening already? That's your body flipping the switch from a state of grip to one of release. Now, with your breath steady, let's move on to the massage itself. This is what I call the pulse step. Take 3 fingertips and place them very lightly under each eye, right on the bony rim of your eye socket. Now begin to tap rhythmically, like a very soft, gentle drum, for about 30 seconds. This feather-like motion is key. It stimulates the superficial lymph vessels, gently encouraging stagnant fluid to move toward deeper drainage channels. A trial in the journal Lymphology found this technique reduced puffiness by 40% in older adults. Remember, no heavy pressure is needed. Senior skin thins by about 20% after the age of 60, according to the Journal of Investigative Dermatology. So we're just extending an invitation, not forcing anything. We're waking up the capillaries without causing any strain. Do you notice a gentle warmth spreading in the area? That's your microcirculation igniting, delivering fresh oxygen to tissues that were parched by fluid retention. After about 30 seconds of tapping, we'll move to the sweep. Keep your light touch, and using your ring finger, it has the gentlest touch. Start from the inner corner of your under eye and gently sweep outward, toward your temples. Imagine you are guiding that fluid along the pathway. Do this about 5 to 7 times on each side. This movement follows the natural direction of your lymphatic drainage system, escorting the fluid you've just mobilized away from the eye area. This simple 1-minute routine breath, pulse, and sweep isn't a temporary fix. It's a daily practice of self-care that honors your body's intricate systems. It works with your body, not against it. By doing this daily, you're not just addressing puffy eyes, you're supporting your entire system. From your kidneys to your nervous system, you retransforming a moment of concern in front of the mirror into a moment of connection and healing. Extend downward to the collarbone, the drainage gateway, with flat palms. Tap lightly over the supraclavicular nodes for 20 seconds, as if coaxing a stream. Here, lymph converges before emptying into veins. A 2024 Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology study found this alone cuts facial edema 25% in seniors by opening the funnel S-space, preventing backup. It's the overlooked exit without it. I efforts echo hollow, but with it, release flows. Awaken the frame next. Form a gentle O with your mouth to engage facial muscles. Then flutter eyelids softly, like butterfly wings, 10 to 15 times. This tones the orbicularist oculi, supporting sagging lids, weakened by 15% collagen loss after 60. Peristhetic plastic surgery research, while boosting tear film to hydrate and reduce irritation. Follow with a glide. Using ring fingers gentlest for delicate skin trace, the orbital bone outward from inner corners. 15 seconds per eye, guiding lymph like a riverbed. This escort aligns with Japanese facial therapy principles, reducing under-eye bags 35% in a pilot, per the International Journal of Cosmetic Science. Seal with warmth, tap featherlight around the eyes for 20 seconds, then return to collarbone pulses, ending with one anchoring breath. In under a minute, you've orchestrated drainage, circulation, and COM studies in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine confirms such routines have puffiness recurrence in stressed seniors over 8 weeks. The face responds because it's wired too. Lymph moves, kidneys ease, stress unwinds, revealing not just clearer eyes, but a body remembered. These whispers puffiness as fluids plea, stress is shadow, imbalance is map invite, listening over fixing. After 60, when kidneys filter 30% slower, and cortisol lingers longer, the eyes become allies, urging harmony through diet's gentle nudge and touch's quiet wisdom. It's not reversal of time, but reclamation of flow, where mornings greet with lightness and reflections echo inner ease. As puffy eyes emerge more frequently in seniors over 60, often dismissed as cosmetic or fatigue-related, they frequently signal underlying fluid retention tied to kidney strain, insulin resistance, and chronic stress, with NIH data indicating a 25 to 30% rise in unexplained edema post-60 due to glomerular filtration decline and blood sugar dysregulation. Research suggests these manifestations stem from sodium-potassium imbalances exacerbated by age-related metabolic shifts, where high-carb intake spikes insulin, promoting renal sodium hold and periorbital swelling in 20 to 40% of affected individuals. Per American Journal of Kidney Diseases analysis, it seems likely that cortisol's role in aldosterone activation further amplifies this, retaining fluids in facial tissues thinned by 15 to 20% collagen loss, as detailed in psychoneuroendocrine studies linking prolonged stress to 25% increased edema prevalence. The evidence leans toward multifaceted interventions, including potassium-rich diets, for example. Bananas at 422 mg each that flush sodium 15 to 25% more effectively, reducing puffiness in 70% of seniors over 4 weeks per British Journal of Nutrition trials. Alongside lymphatic drainage massages boosting fluid clearance 30 to 50%, as validated in Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology pilots on elders. Puffy eyes, or periorbital edema, arise from interstitial fluid accumulation in the eye area's loose connective tissue, the body's thinnest at 0.5 millimeters, making it a sentinel for systemic issues. Primary causes include renal inefficiency, where filtration drops 1% yearly post-50, leaking proteins that osmotic pull water into tissues, affecting 30% over 60 per NIDDK reports. Insulin resistance, prevalent in 40%, compounds this. Glucose surges prompt insulin-mediated sodium reabsorption via Na plus K plus ATPase stimulation, retaining 20 to 30% more fluid, as per American Journal of Clinical Nutrition findings on hyperglycemic cohorts. Stress elevates cortisol 15 to 25%, activating renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system to hoard sodium, with psychoneuroendocrine data showing 35% higher edema in high-stress seniors, thinning vessels and leaking plasma. Potassium counters this elegantly. As a natriuretic, it promotes renal excretion, balancing electrolytes where seniors often deplete 10 to 20% annually from diuretics or low intake. Per nutrients reviews, foods like avocados 975 mg or spinach 558 mg per cup restore harmony. easing kidney load and reducing eye swelling 25% in 4 weeks, per British Journal of Nutrition Elder Trials. Magnesium synergy amplifies, as deficiencies common in 50% over 65 affect 30% more retention, per Journal of the American Geriatric Society. Lymphatic drainage massage addresses stagnation. The eye areas, sparse nodes, trap fluid, but rhythmic strokes light pulses under eyes. Collarbone taps mobilize 40% more via manual pumping, per Aesthetic Surgery Journal. Breath initiation via vagus stimulation drops cortisol 20%, per Frontiers in Psychology. Priming release. Eyelid flutters tone orbicularis oculi, weakened 15% post-60, per Dermatologic Surgery. Glides along orbital bone guide flow, aligning with Japanese shiatsu principles, reducing bags 35%, per International Journal of Cosmetic Science. In seniors, where skin elasticity wanes and stress compounds, these converge. A 2024 Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine study found combined approaches have recurrence over 8 weeks, fostering not cosmetic fix but systemic ease, brighter eyes, signaling unburdened kidneys, calmed nerves, balanced sugars,